Billy, you so crazy.
Yo, what's cracking? What's bracking? It's your boy, Billy, you so crazy, and we back, and we back, and we back, and we back with another one. Y'all read the title, so you already know what I'm doing. This is my mom forces me to do a pregnancy test daily by My Story Animated, all right? These stories are getting very, very interesting, so I'm definitely dying to see what this one is about. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Please be a part of the So Crazy family by hitting that subscribe button. Comment down below what you want to see a boy react to next, and I'll have it up for you when I get the chance. Just be patient. Y'all never are, but I'm gonna say it anyways, because one day you will be, all right? But if there's a request you want done a whole lot faster, or you want to donate, help out the channel, there's a Patreon account in the description, so feel free, donate, all that good stuff. You don't have to, that's only if you want to, man. Shout out to the So Crazy family, shout out to the Crazy Pack, all of you guys. Really appreciate your guys' love and support, man. Y'all really drive your boy to keep going with these videos, man. Even though y'all be hating on my team, and that's okay. That is okay. But I'm gonna still keep repping them no matter what. That's besides the point. Let's find out what my mom forces me to do a daily pregnancy test is all about. Or why a daily pregnancy test. Amelia, 14 years. Hold on, time out. Amelia is getting forced to take a pregnancy test every day at 14 years old. That's just too young for me. That's just way too young.
I was trapped in a bedroom with a boy I barely knew. He locked the door and walked towards me. There was no other way out. I was trapped. I realized that my cell phone was in my bag downstairs and that no one knew where I was or even who I was with. I was in big, big trouble. It wasn't like me to get into situations like this. I have always been so sensible, but the events of the weeks leading up to this moment had led to me making a bad decision.
Oh, no.
I'm Amelia, and I'm 14 years old. I live with my older sister Leela and our mom and dad. My life was pretty normal until one odd day, my mom started acting in a really strange way. It began with one evening when she sat me down and had a talk with me about responsibility and how I shouldn't let any boy touch my body. I told her there was no way that I would. I didn't even like boys. And besides, I've never even been in a relationship. She told me she believed me, but I had to accept a new rule in the house. She wanted me to take regular pregnancy tests.
Oh my gosh.
What a weird thing to ask.
Oh
I laughed at
gosh.
first. I knew I wasn't pregnant as it wasn't possible, but my mom seemed like she didn't believe me. In the end...
Do you know how much money she's wasted on pregnancy tests? There's 360, is it 360? There's 300 something days in a year. Just think about that. What does your mom do for a living? Does she work at the damn pregnancy place where they? She must get them free or something. Cause who? She work at the hospital or something. I don't know. Like how?
Arguing with her seemed hopeless. So I went to the bathroom and took the test.
Oh
I
my
thought
gosh.
if it reassured
14?
my mom, then I might as well do it. The test was negative, of course.
All the time. Yeah.
My mom looked so relieved, which was kind of insulting.
It was.
She could have just trusted me when I told
insulted.
her. But things didn't stop there. Over the next few weeks, though, Mom started to act weirder. I was forced to start taking a pregnancy test once a week. On top of that, I had to tell her who I was hanging out with every time I go out. And she would even ask me to put them on the phone to verify. Soon, she wouldn't let me go around friends' houses if they lived with brothers or even if they had dads. Mom would insist I came home instead and stayed by myself in my room and studied. Then she insisted on me taking another pregnancy test, then another, then another.
That's terrible,
Soon,
man.
I was having to do them every day. I couldn't believe it. My mom had gone from being the closest mom ever to a control freak. One day, I came home and Mom had some glass tubes and packets on the table. They were the equipment for a drug test. She announced that she wanted me to take a drug test as well to make sure that I wasn't taking anything. She said that I would have to do them at random times.
So now she got her taking a drug test? This mom is OD. Nope. See, that's exactly how you get your kids to start acting off the hinges. Like, this is when they start acting out, doing the most. This is how they end up getting pregnant. This is how they end up doing drugs. Like, what? You showing them that you don't trust your daughter. You do not trust your daughter. And I'm not saying that to never, whatever, but every day, and you bringing home equipment to drug. If she's never shown you that she cannot be trusted, why are you treating her like she locked up? That's crazy. But then again, you know, I can't tell somebody else how to parent, but that's just wild to me, man. Like that, if I was her kid, I don't know what I'd do, to be honest. I don't know. Wow.
times.
Emancipation?
Whenever she asked.
I don't know.
Couldn't believe it. I would never try drugs. I told her no at first, but she just moaned at me about how she knew best and how she just wanted to protect me. In the end, I gave up fighting and took the test.
That's
but
terrible,
I felt
man.
so depressed.
I bet you
Even
did.
my body wasn't my own. Now, you might not believe it, but it actually got even worse than this.
Oh, no.
Soon after, my mom forbade me from seeing any friends after school. Instead, Dad would be picking me up every day from school and driving me home. I was so miserable. On top of that, he was going to drop me off every morning. I wasn't even trusted to walk myself to school. As I wasn't allowed to go out, I started losing more and more friends.
Bro.
At lunch and breaks, I felt so isolated. It felt like no one wanted to talk to me anymore. When I tried to join in conversations, people would talk about what happened out of school or what films they had seen, or other things that I couldn't join in with as I wasn't allowed to have a life. And the worst thing about it was that I didn't even know why I was being treated like this. My evenings were so depressing too. I never had anyone to talk to. My parents even took away my phone every night when I got home from school.
Wow.
They told me it was a distraction I didn't need, and that I should use my evenings to concentrate on my homework. Until one day, I noticed something very weird. I was coming back from school sooner than usual, and when I entered the house, Mom called me and told me to check if she had turned off the oven. I didn't really pay attention to it at first, but when she came home, she asked me why I finished school early. How did she know? I started suspecting that my parents were actually tracking me.
Oh, for sure.
The next day, I decided to test out my theory and took a different path home, and my suspicions were confirmed. My phone started buzzing with messages asking me where I was. But how were they tracking me? The next day, I asked Blake, a guy I know from school, if he had any idea how my parents could track me. Blake asked me to hand
They
him my
always
phone.
ask their friends
He
at
checked
school.
me, and he looked at me with a smirk. You
Got the
got a tracking
location on.
GPS hidden app on your phone. Oh my god, I freaked out. Well, delete it, I told Blake. But Blake wouldn't. He started asking me all sorts of questions about the reason my parents were acting like this. I felt like I could tell him what was happening because he was smart and funny. And kind of cute, too. He was so different from any other boy at my
Oh, here we
school.
go.
I confessed to Blake
She
about
about
my
to
crazy
end this
parents,
story with her
and he
being
found it
pregnant by
funny.
Blake.
He couldn't believe that I put up with them. He
For
told me
real?
that I shouldn't delete the app,
Oh.
and that I should use this app for my advantage. He said that all I'd have to do was turn off my phone when I leave school, and it will get them to believe I'm still there. He then convinced me that I needed to go and have fun, whether they allowed me to or not.
See?
He messaged me
There
an
you go.
hour later and told me to meet him outside school.
There you go.
He wouldn't tell me why, but I was excited. I ran
See?
outside and found Blake. He told me that we were going to cut
Oh
school that
my
day.
gosh.
I was
This-
shocked.
this is
I
how
had
things
never
go
skipped
left.
school before, but he told me that I needed to live a little and go for it. I remembered the advice he gave me, and I turned off my phone.
Oh,
he
God.
grabbed my hand and we ran off the school grounds.
I told y'all.
Holding
I
his
told y'all
hand
what happens.
Made me feel
I
nervous
told y'all.
and excited. I mostly got excited because I felt like I was finally breaking free from my parents and crazy mother. But to tell you the truth,
I'm stressed.
I wasn't sure about how I felt towards Blake. He took me back to his house. His parents were out, so we had the place to ourselves.
No.
He called up the school and pretended to be my dad and called in sick for me. Then, he got me to call and pretend that I was his mom. I felt exhilarated. I had never been with anyone who made me feel so free. We went up to his room and played computer games. It was weird, sitting on his bed next to him. I had never been alone with a boy before, but he was so relaxed. And soon, I was too. Then, when we stopped playing games, he leaned over and kissed me. I had never been kissed before, and it was so wonderful. But then, he didn't want to stop. He wanted to take things further. I suggested we go downstairs and watch TV, but he said he wanted to stay here. He got up and locked the door to his room. He leaned in towards
no.
me again. I tried to push him
No.
away from me.
No.
He kept telling me how pretty I was
No.
and how much he liked kissing me.
No.
I started to panic. I was all by myself with a boy I barely knew, and no one even knew I was with him and where I was. Quickly, my hand reached my pocket where my phone was, and I turned it on,
yes.
hoping that my parents would come to my rescue.
Yes, they didn't
Then,
come.
Something happened that shocked me. I heard someone banging and shouting at the front door. I recognized the voice. It was my dad. He shouted that he knew I was inside and demanded that I come to the front door right away. Blake jumped away from me, and he looked really scared. I snatched the key, unlocked the door, ran out of the room and down the stairs. I grabbed my bag and ran out the front door straight into my dad's arms. He looked really angry for a second. Then, when he saw that I was upset, he hugged me back. We went and sat in his car, and I told him everything that had happened. Then he got angry again. He told me that I shouldn't have skipped school in the first place. He said that I put myself in a dangerous position as no one knew where I was. I told him that it was him and Mom's fault. If they hadn't been so controlling, that I would never have skipped school. I just felt like my whole life was so controlled that I had to sneak around to do anything fun.
It's not right, but I understand.
I didn't want a serious boyfriend yet. I knew I was too young. He nodded and looked sad. After the incident, my dad admitted that my mom was so worried about me that she had made him put a secret app on my phone to track my location so that they could keep an eye on me at all times. When he saw that I wasn't at school, he knew he had to find me. That night, I sat down with Mom and Dad. I told them that I knew about the secret app, and that's why I had acted out. I apologized and told them that I couldn't keep living like this. I was going to start hanging out with my friends again after school. I said it was unfair for me to not have a social life just because they were worried. I told them that I would not take any more pregnancy tests either. My mom suddenly teared up. I didn't understand what I did to make her cry. My father gave her a hug, and he told me there was something I should know. A while ago, we found out that your sister Leela is pregnant. Leela? I couldn't believe it. She's only 16. My dad continued.
So this is all because her older sister got pregnant, so you gonna put it on her? Why not just have a talk with the girl? Let her know what's going on. Why? She over here acting out because you making her act out. We gotta find healthier ways to go about. I'm so glad. The one thing I will say that I do agree that in today's climate, that things are a little bit too sensitive to where everybody's feelings gets hurt over everything. And I don't know, maybe it's just because I've been in the military and there ain't no such thing as feelings. Like that's just, you can forget about it. You know what I'm saying? The moment you show some type of emotion, they're on your head. So maybe it's because I come from that type of, and I was brought up in a military household. So maybe that's because I've been bred up that way my whole life. And it's not that many things that offend me in general because I have a pretty dark humor. But one thing that I am glad about in today's climate is that people are, we're policing up other people as far as having conversations, especially when it comes to talking with your kids, because we're seeing now how certain things that maybe your parents might have did when you were a kid wasn't the healthiest, but no one wanted to say anything. And now we're in a time where it's like, no, we're going to talk about this and break this generational curse. It's time for us to make a change to where we need to start having these conversations with our kids. So that way they're not learning it out there in the streets and actually possibly getting into something like her. Like she literally went to her friend at school like, hey, can you figure out how my parents are tracking me? I really don't know what's going on. And somebody knows. Like, these kids is advanced. My daughter came out the room learning how to use an iPhone. Literally. She couldn't type a lick, but guess what? She knew how to get to her YouTube videos. That, I'll never forget when I came back from basic training and I seen her pulling up her YouTube videos after she had my phone. I'm thinking like, oh, your mom probably just got videos saved for you, so that's how you keep finding them. She ain't never been on my phone, but the moment she get on my phone, somehow she know how to click, 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 and get to her videos, and she on a 7-hour streak of Coco Melon or whatever the heck them videos is called. But it's like, how are you finding this and you don't even know how to spell? You don't even know how to talk yet, but you know how to find videos on YouTube. So these kids is born with AI in them. So they're going to get away with certain things. This is going to happen, but you can't, you know what I'm saying? Again, I say that I can't stress it enough. We got to have these conversations with our kids because she didn't even know her older sister was pregnant this whole time. That's why Ma Dukes was tripping. And I get why Ma Dukes was tripping, but have these conversations with your kids, man.
Leela had been feeling unwell for a few days and kept complaining that she felt sick. Your mom thought something was wrong and started paying extra attention to her. Then she found a positive pregnancy test in the bin in the bathroom.
Yikes.
And sat us down and shouted at us until Leela admitted that it was hers. I couldn't believe that my sister had been so reckless to get pregnant, but things started to finally make sense. I guess my mother had a good explanation for her crazy behavior. My parents admitted that they freaked out because they felt like they didn't do a good job protecting us and that they were trying out a new method. I leaned closer to her and gave her a hug. I promised her that I won't repeat my sister's mistake and that when I was much older and had a boyfriend, then I would make sure that we only had safe sex. Mom was really quiet for ages, but then she apologized for not trusting me more. She promised me she would never force me to take another pregnancy test again. Have your parents ever done anything as weird as making you take a pregnancy test every single day? Let me know the strangest thing they have done in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to hear more stories like this.
Yeah, y'all be sure to subscribe to My Story Animated. This is a very interesting channel. I can't wait to go through all of their videos, man. I really cannot wait to go, because these are real stories. Like, I cannot wait to go through, because some of these stories should definitely be like played out in movies. Like this one right here could have been played out in a movie for sure. Now, I don't know. They would have had to throw in a few things here and there to kind of spice it up just a little bit, but that right there, that story would have been great for a movie. But I want to know, like, has your parents ever done something like that? Like, let me know in the comment section, or my parents that are watching this right now. Have you caught yourself doing something like this? Like, what is, actually, you know what, forget the question in general. What is one of your what is one of the things that you do that would be considered like overprotective of your kids? You may not look at it as overprotective, but if you were to tell someone else, they go, "Ooh, man, you really overprotective." Let me know in the comment section. Put that in the I am curious. For all my parents out there, let me know. And for those that aren't parents, but you have parents, let me know what was one of the things that your parents did to be overprotective. My mom, she watched so much of the news that she just worried about everything. So she just thought everything was terrible. When I was in high school, like, I've been doing YouTube for over like 10 plus years. So even when I was in high school, I had a dance group and we were getting very popular. And I lived in San Diego, and there were companies that wanted to send us t-shirts to, you know, advertise for them. So they wanted to send us free merch. And I just remember telling my mom, and she was like, "No, they're putting bombs in the mail and anthrax in the mail." And she was just so, because the companies, some of the companies that I was working with, some of them was in LA and then others was in Arizona. They were coming from all over the place. So she just had this in her mind of, no, I just can't. She just, no, I don't believe that it's real. And this is back when, you know, like, now you could tell someone that you're a YouTuber and they're like, okay, cool, we know that you can make money off it. But back then, you tell someone that you make money off YouTube, they're like, what? There's no way that you could possibly make money off YouTube. So that's during that time. So when I'm telling my mom, like, yo, these videos, I'm making money, I'm getting sponsorships, whatever, she's like, no, it's not a thing. So she pretty much ruined a lot of business opportunities for me at a younger age. But because of those experiences, the reason why I handle my YouTube the way that I do now. But that was one of my mom's very like overprotective, like, and it just got on my nerves. She just constantly wouldn't let your boy, every time there was an opportunity, she was just like, no, it's not real. It got on my nerves, you know. But shout out to Mama Crazy, because she did the best she could, you know. And now, you know, we on a way to making sure that her life is exactly the way that it's supposed to be. But Mama Crazy was the original crazy. That's where I get my crazy from. But yeah, that was one of the things that, you know, my mom did. My dad, on the other hand, his was just like, if you don't have, which I guess is not a bad thing, but it was just like, if you don't have all the information, then it's a no for me, just right off the rip. And it was just like, come on, dude, like, you really need all the information for a school dance? Cut me a break, please. Like, just because I don't know exactly how much the dang ticket is, can you just let me go? Like, who cares? Like, but you know it's gonna be at the school at 6 o'clock. I may not know the price. Who cares? It was, no, you need to learn that. You need to tell me everything. It's just the little small things. Now, that's not probably as big as taking a pregnancy test, but you know what? Forget that I even just shared that with y'all. I might just edit. No, I'm gonna keep it in. That's not as big as taking a pregnancy test every day, but it was just little things that got on my nerves. But there was other stuff I just can't remember right now. But you guys share your moments with me in the comment section. Forget it. Share any moment with me in the comment section. If you enjoyed this reaction, man, please give this video a thumbs up. Comment down below right now what you want to see me react to next. Follow me on all my social media links are right there. Send me a message on any one of those, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. I also have a Patreon account in the description, so feel free if you want to donate, help the channel out. But that's only if you want to. You don't have to, man. It is your boy, BillyYouSoCrazy. Shout out to the So Crazy family. Shout out to the Crazy Pack. If it wasn't for y'all, I wouldn't be doing this, man. I'll see you on the next video, man. I'm out this thing.